President Trump, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto signed the United States-Canada-Mexico trade agreement on the sidelines of the G20 summit today.
Now, the new deal replaces Nafta, but it won't go into effect anytime soon. The agreement still needs congressional approval. Key members of both political parties have also expressed significant concern, including Florida Senator Marco Rubio. He tweeted today, quote, "As currently drafted, the deal will put Florida seasonal vegetable growers out of business. America will depend on Mexico for our winter vegetables. Unacceptable."
Our colleague Jim DeFede sat down with Senator Rubio back in August to discuss why he's so against it.
Florida, winter vegetables. Mexico has done everything possible to destroy that industry.
How so?
Well, they undercut us. They flood us with cheaper alternatives.
Because our seasons are the same. So we're on the same cycle in terms of...
And it happens with strawberries and blueberries too, but particularly tomatoes. They dump. They basically dump tomatoes into our marketplace, undercutting the price point for our farmers and wiping them out. And if you care about the environment, think about what happens to that land if it's no longer about vegetables. What do you do with land, for example, in South Dade when it no longer is growing vegetables? Well, the next option is you develop it. And that means people move in, houses are built, fertilizer goes into the ground at heavy levels, much heavier than you could see in agriculture, and the impact that has on our water and so forth. So we can't lose agriculture. Second, we want to have an agriculture industry in Florida. And it's important for the country to be able to feed ourselves. And so if NAFTA and this deal does not treat our Florida farmers fairly, if it doesn't fix that injustice, I'm going to have a big problem with this deal.
In this deal that the president is striking with Mexico, it seems as if he was trying to do the best deal possible for auto manufacturing. That was the main impetus, and that he was willing to concede things in other areas. Do you sort of see that as the struggle that was going on here, that basically Florida farmers and growers were pitted against auto workers?
No, I mean, part of the problem was some of the other agriculture interests also turned on us. You know, the pork producers and corn, for them, Mexico is an export market. And so as long as their interests were protected and automakers' interests were protected, it kind of left us out in the cold. And we knew it would be a challenge the whole time. And they may not need our vote in order to get this thing reauthorized. But I'm going to have a big problem with the deal if it doesn't take care of Florida's farmers and bring some justice and fairness to that process. And frankly, I'll be deeply disappointed because it will have left behind a key group in an important state.
What's the response that you've gotten when you've tried to raise these issues with the negotiating team?
That Mexico paid a pretty hard line on it, and I'm sure they did. I mean, they got a pretty good deal. And that, you know, like I said, look, a Florida farmers' issues probably don't matter as much to Kansas, Mississippi, Missouri, Wyoming, all these other states in the country, but they matter in a very important state, and they matter to 2 senators in the US Senate, and so we'll take that into account whenever the final deal is presented. But they know that this is going to be an impediment if they don't get it fixed, and if they need our vote and they need our support, I expect they'll address it somehow.